Good afternoon and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. Shabbat Shalom. And then, of course, I can also say Chag Sameach, Happy Shavuot. Let me just read to you, in order not to forget anything, what this holiday is all about. It's one of the 3 pilgrimage festivals where the Jewish people went up to Jerusalem. Of course, we celebrate the giving of the Torah to Moses and the Israelites on Mount Sinai, and that happened 7 weeks after they came out of Egypt. It is also where we commemorate the wheat harvesting in Israel, and it is the culmination of the 49 days of counting the Omer. God gave the Torah to Moses and the Jewish people. This is the foundation of everything. So it's a joyful festival. It's also, like I said, it's the festival of the wheat harvest. So they're going to be eating a lot of cheesecake. I have said many times when I speak about Israel, it's the land of majesty, of mystery, of great history and destiny, because every time you open the scriptures, you're reading about these people, the Jewish people, and you're reading about the land of Israel. And these are the things that all the lies, the propaganda, the anti-Israel people cannot debate, because that is facts. So it's a joyful, joyful time here in Israel. They are up all night reading in the Torah. And another thing is happening. We are reading the book of Ruth. There was a young woman who lost her husband. Naomi had 2 sons, and they both passed away. So she told her daughter-in-laws that, my sons are dead. Now you're free. You can go home and be with your families. One of them said, okay, and she kissed Naomi and she said goodbye and she left. But Ruth said, no, please don't make me leave you. I want to go with you. Where you go, I will go. Your God is my God and your people are my people. And she walked and she followed Naomi back to her people. It's a great, great story. It's a love story of Ruth going out in the field. And Naomi's kinsman, Boaz, saw her and he took a light to her. And we know the story of Ruth laying down at his feet, and they got married. And of course, they are the ancestors to King David. So it's a beautiful, beautiful story. This is a beautiful festival. So for all of us single people out there, maybe we will go and find our Boaz. Maybe the guys would want to go and find their Ruth. So there's so much joy in this festival. So here from my house, I'm saying Chag Sameach to all my Jewish friends and followers around the world. For me personally, this is also a very significant time, because in the beginning of June, 12 years ago, I set out from Denmark on a tourist visa with 1 suitcase, really not knowing my way around Israel or Jerusalem, or really not knowing anything except I have felt God over a couple of years started speaking to me about saying goodbye to everything in Denmark and step out in faith and come to Israel. So actually 12 years ago I did that, completely stepped out in faith. I didn't have answer to any questions about people saying where you're going to live, what are you going to do, what's your purpose. I didn't know anything except God called me to go. Where you go, I will go. Your God is my God and your people are my people. So the story of Ruth has a very special significance in my life. Here I am 12 years later, still in Israel. The journey has been incredible. It has been grueling at some times. It has been hardship. It has been devastation from all of the terror attacks, the murder of the Jewish people, the funerals, the rocket attacks. And it has been pure joy when I have celebrated with my Jewish family, which has become my family in this nation. So this is such a unique time for me. It's a special time for me. I can't believe that I'm still here. I just celebrated my 50th birthday here in Jerusalem, actually being able to stand on the Mount of Olives and just bless Israel and pray for my life and the Jewish nation on my 50th birthday. So for such a time as this, we will always stand with Israel. This is the land of majesty and mystery, of great destiny and history. This is the land that we are reading about when we are opening our Bibles. Nothing will ever dispute that. It's also the nation that has the center of the attention from all over the world. Joe Biden was supposed to be here later this month. That trip has now been postponed. They're talking about July, but that has not been confirmed. It's the land where world leaders would like to come and tell the leaders of this nation what to do and not to do, what's the capital and not the capital, where they can build and cannot build. But it doesn't change the fact that God gave this land to the Jewish people, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all of their descendants in an eternal covenant. And the thing about this nation is, it's God's. Whether you're religious or not, it doesn't change the facts that this is the apple of his eyes. This is God's nation. It's all about him. And he chose Israel as his very own. He chose Jerusalem as his city. That's why the world are going bonkers over Jerusalem, because it's God's. This nation, it's God's, and it will never change. So for such a time as this, we will always stand with Israel. Would you allow me to end on a personal note, because there are so many people praying for me and asking how can we pray and what's going on. And like I said, these days are special for me, because in these days 12 years ago, I came here and I stepped out in faith, and I'm still here. For those of you who follows me knows that I have had battles on my health with different incidents and accidents and surgeries. And I had to move 3 times this year, which really just pulled out my back, my spine, down here, my disc, down my legs. Anyone who have had that issue knows how painful it is. So I got a new physiotherapist, and I started swimming. So unfortunately, this means that I am not going to be able to travel to Denmark and see my family this summer, which would have been for the first time in 4 years. I got a new job, and that is to gain my strength back, to get my health back. And it's a lot of hard work, and it's painful, but it's the only way moving forward. So I'm swimming 3-4 times a week. It's very hard. I am seeing a physiotherapist in all of June, July, and August. That is my job. That is what I have to do. And then time is running really fast, and I'm saying this now as a prayer request, because when I moved into this apartment, we only made a short-term lease, which had just turned out to be the right solution, because this is a beautiful apartment and I have a very, very gracious landlord. But it's out in the one end of Jerusalem, and for me, and with the injuries that I have, traveling back and forth with the bus, the commute, the hauling home, it's just not possible for me moving forward. So I am looking for a new apartment October 1st. I need to raise the funds in order to move. I need to find a new apartment in the city center. I'm still alone. I don't have a car. I'm doing everything by myself. So just for you to know my schedule, June, July, and August, it's really hard work, working out, swimming, physiotherapist, to get some strength into my body, and the whole issues with my lower back. So 3 months from now, things have turned, and I'm in a much better place. And then in September, it's packing up and moving for October 1st, before we have all of the high holidays. So thank you so much for standing with me through all of this. Would you pray for me? And again, anyone who says, Jane, you know what, we want to bless you because we benefit from your voice out of Israel. And we want to help you to find that safe home, that fully furnished, beautiful 2-bedroom apartments in the center of Jerusalem, where things will become more easy for me, so I can continue to be your eyes and ears out of Israel. I'm going to share links to different donation platforms for those of you who want to sow into this. Maybe give me a belated 50th birthday present so I can move October 1st. And I'm starting all of this now. So I'm upfront with this. So this is not going to be too stressful or too pressured. So October 1st, I am going to a new apartment. Thank you for any leads, for financial blessings into this situation. Thank you for being the ones who is lifting my hands. So I can continue to speak the truth out of Israel for all of you amazing people around the world who still writes to me saying, Jane, you are the one that we look to because we can count on what you're saying to be truth, and we are counting on your views and your voice out of Jerusalem. But I can't do it as I'm not funded by anyone. I have a salary. I can't do it without all of you. God bless you so much. Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. Happy Shavuot to all of you. Bye.